Hello, everybody. This is Bellington Malindi Mawale the first. Welcome to another episode of the Kuchalo podcast. On today's talk show, we have a special visitor. I'll allow him to introduce himself. So, you may go ahead.
Hello everyone, this is Stanley Omanda, commonly known as Shumba One, the Lion of Africa. Yeah, I'm glad to be at this podcast show today. I'm thankful for the privilege that Mr. Marindim has taken and to invite me
Oh, it's
on
my
his
honor.
show. Yeah,
Oh, the honor is all mine. Mr. Shumawan, welcome to the Kuchalo
thank you so much,
podcast.
Mr. Marindim.
So, on today's talk show, we'll be discussing about a very crucial, important topic that is mostly for us youths that I think we need to know at a very early stage. We mostly begin to know about this information in later stages of life. So, our friend Mr. Shumbawan here is an entrepreneur, he's a businessman. So, sir, how rich are you?
No, sir, I'm not rich, bro.
You're not
I'm not
rich.
rich.
Why?
Yeah, like let me say, I'm not rich, but I am a person that is going to be rich. Yeah,
So,
that's
when
what
are you going to be rich?
I don't know, but maybe today, tomorrow,
Are you
anytime.
working towards it?
Yeah, I'm on the verge of reaching the target.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's nice. So, what's your plan to get into your target?
So, basically, people that know me, my friends that have grown up,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they know me as Stango. Is a person that has been a boring guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm boring in this aspect because I don't like my field that I like
Mm-hmm.
and my passion. Where my passion is drive to.
Mm-hmm.
It's an old people's business. In my country, Zambia, they call it a retirement package.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this is the retirement package that I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So in Zambia, the trend of is like you go to school,
Mm-hmm.
you get your degree, you
Mm-hmm.
find work, you get employed by the state, you work.
Mm-hmm.
When retirement age comes, you retire, and then the government settles you. You go back and buy a farm, start
Mm-hmm.
farming, buy animals, and that's like how life is. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a family that has a heritage of agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
Like my great grandfather was a farmer, my father was a farmer, my mother was a farmer. Everyone in my family has been doing agriculture. So it comes with passion.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
comes with heritage for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was so hard for me to start learning new things that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
So I had to take something that I'm familiar because I've
Mm-hmm.
seen it happening
You
and
have first-hand experience, huh?
I've seen how people studied from a low grade.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've seen people growing in the business to become big people, to become big men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is
So,
the passion that I share with.
so I also think like one thing that most of us youths that we make, we feel like starting investments, we need to start like there's a certain age for us to start investments. Do you feel like someone? Do you feel like there's an age where someone can start their investments?
No, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say everything according to my example, like the life that I've experienced myself. So here's I mentioned earlier, like my father is a farmer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what my farmer is. My father has a lot of like children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like 11 boys. So what my father used to do is like, my aim is to empower every male child that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So when you reach your fifth grade,
Mm-hmm.
my father was going to give you like a 10 kg of maize,
Wow.
then give you like 3 bags of fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
Then he says, this is his statement.
Mm-hmm.
I will never give you capital again. You need to grow this. This is your lifetime capital. You need to build a family from what? From this.
Oh wow.
So this is why business is so hard for people to start.
Mm-hmm.
This is why people find it hard to succeed in business because business, we need to understand that it needs time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it needs time to grow. You need time to learn experiences, to learn your failures. You need when you have learned your failures, you need to know
So
how
the
to
earlier the
move.
better,
The
huh?
earlier, the better. So if my father never started me farming in my fifth grade,
Mm-hmm.
I would have lost the passion all along. But because he started it earlier, then I have seen the goodness and the bad things that farming has gave me.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
the passion is what he has engineered the passion, and then it has grown in me. Right now, I feel like there's nothing else I can do better than agriculture.
Yeah, that's true. So I was watching one of Dumisani, the radical entrepreneur's speeches. So he was saying that we must use our work as a tool for wealth creation, not as a tool for life sustaining. So I feel most of what us as young adults make is when we get employed and start working, we begin to use our work as way to sustain our life instead of creating more wealth, making an opportunity. So as you said that the earlier the better. So I don't know why some people just feel like you can only start investments like when you're retiring or stuff. But do you feel like what about those who have never had an experience in farming? Like, do you feel like what can they do?
Okay, that's a good question as well. So from that aspect, and then from what Dumisani said,
Mm-hmm.
so me, I take it and understand it in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Business must be given a range of time to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So, like alluded earlier, like people will go into school, get a job, start working, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what people don't understand is every person must have financial stability.
Mm-hmm.
So, we as young youths, like I'm saying the majority, we run into getting luxurious things without securing our what?
Our
Our
future.
future. So in this world, you need to first analyze and research in the field of business.
Mm-hmm.
So in the same art of business, there are some businesses which are more secure and some
Mm-hmm.
business which you can lose at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So why I go for agriculture and why I would encourage somebody who doesn't know agriculture?
Mm-hmm.
This is why there are consultation companies,
Mm-hmm.
there are people that have been in agriculture. You
Mm-hmm.
need to be a learning student in your lifetime. Everyone never a person never stops being a student.
Mm-hmm. That's
You
true.
cannot you don't have to go to school to learn everything.
Mm-hmm.
You need to meet friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you identify a group of friends that are entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
How are they doing it?
Mm-hmm.
You try to do it with them. You learn through experiences, how they tell you through the experiences, what how they have done it and how they have succeeded.
That's true.
So that is how most people, why for me agriculture is the best investment is
Mm-hmm.
because it comes with heritage.
Yeah.
Number one, the thing is, one, if you have land as a person, if you have land is an asset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the next day, every day,
It
land
gains more value.
appreciates
Yeah.
value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day that passes by. So
Mm-hmm.
next year, the value of land will
Mm-hmm.
appreciate by 20%.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're not doing anything on the land,
Mm-hmm.
you're not tilling, you're not doing anything, but just know that your money is not the same amount that you used to buy a farm with.
That's true.
So after 5 years, trust me, this is the art I try to display. Here is a person, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're able to get something like $300. $300 you buy a female cow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like after 3 years, that's the money that you just got. You just had a chance of getting a $300.
Mm-hmm.
Then you buy a cow. After 5 years
Mm.
of that cow, you have about three.
Yeah.
Then together will be like four.
Mm-hmm.
You get it?
Mm-hmm.
That is, you have
Long,
invested
yeah,
long term
long-term
investment, but
investments.
high what returns, and then you
Yeah.
have secured the future.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping that thing as like buying cattle is more like a bank. You are banking money that is multiplying. It's more secure. It's not secure as keeping money in the bank, but it has higher chances of giving you back profits.
Mm-hmm. So, do you feel like people of our generation, like the youths, do you feel like they are kind of lazy in doing long-term investments? Because I feel like most of us just want something short-term investment. I want to invest today, and I want to get capitals or returns in the next 3 months.
Sure. So exactly, this is what has affected businesses
Mm-hmm.
in this generation, where we have youth that envy and look for quick returns.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, you'd go around and do researches everywhere. If those successive people that have businesses that is still standing today, if you go and interview them today, they will tell you, I never started making
Mm-hmm.
profits. I'll give you an example of this man, renowned man in Zambia called Rogers Yatombo.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
was in my like sixth grade when I saw him selling a book.
Mm-hmm.
So he mentions it's like you need to spend time to sell yourself to the people
Mm-hmm.
before you sell your product.
That's
So
true.
he sold himself to the people by selling what? The book.
Mm-hmm.
People thought that he is useless. Why is he just selling books? And then books were not everyone, not every Zambian reads a book.
Yeah.
But he managed to go around schools selling himself. Everybody knew Roger Totomba as the guy behind Exam Made Easy book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
After some time, we see Roger Satombo is behind the Great Northwood Academy group of
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Rogers Otambo is like the first Zambian to build a renowned hotel in Zambia.
Yeah.
So meaning he gave himself time.
Mm-hmm.
As young as he was, he started early,
Mm-hmm.
growing.
Mm-hmm.
When he grew after doing the clothing thing, he shifted into doing extra lessons, tuitions. From there, he understood the thread of what? Growth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even if you start something today, you don't sell, you don't make profits today, but in the record book, it counts as if it counts and says you have grown a step further, you've understood something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Then this is why young people now, they just want something very quick,
Mm-hmm.
quick returns, because they've seen Elon Musk,
Yeah.
but they cannot go deep down and understand where Elon Musk started from.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand the background that Elon Musk had to move from South Africa to the United States of America. How did he found his way here?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the story behind it. Yeah, we get inspired by people that have made it already, but those people that don't tell us
Mm-hmm.
what is behind the
Yeah.
struggle.
So there's a famous saying that I heard someone quoting that many people just want the cake, but they don't
Yeah.
wanna go through the process of making the cake.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's a whole huge process behind it, but you just focus on the end product, but you don't know there's a other long process for it.
Exactly.
So like, what about some youths who are facing like challenges in identifying themselves? Like they're trying to see what adventure they can go into. Like how can they go about it? Like they don't know, they're not into farming. Like they don't know what to try. They just don't know what to do with their money. Hence, they just keep spending it on luxurious things. And
Okay, first thing first, there's no a person who doesn't have potential or who doesn't know a business they can do. Why? Trust me. We have families we are coming from. There must be someone in the family that has been doing a certain set of business in every family, not an average family. So that gives you the first hand experience of observation. Second, if you are trying to discover yourself, you need to look around yourself. I mentioned in the first place, like identify friends who are doing the business. Don't just jump into investment, but take time to learn from them.
that's true.
Just pretend as if you don't see what they do, but try to learn how they run the business. Ask questions. Visit people. We are where we are because we are not willing. But if we are willing, I always tell myself this is a new logic I've developed now. You see, since I've been in the United States, I've identified that I had a good mindset, a business skill, but I like the working culture that these people have.
Yeah.
It's not all about the beauty, the mind they have, but it's just about the work culture. Yeah. So we talked about consistency. So we need to put time to that consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency is there to back time.
That's true.
Because consistency makes you save your time. You don't have to stop, but you need to keep pushing. But the record book of time will say you are still doing this on this day. You made those, you made
Yeah.
those, you made those. Even when you draw your graph, it will show that this day you made those, but you continue what? Moving. That's how a person should be.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
start a business, you read more about it, try it, it fails, start another one. So this is one thing, and then one thing that I was taught by one successful man, he said, this is how young entrepreneurs fail. They'll start a business, it starts striking, numbers are good. But the moment they see a friend doing a certain type of business,
Yeah.
they'll think of doubling what? Business. But a business must be established, built, then you yourself as the owner, you must be working as an employee in the business, so that you study the business structure. You even know, say, if I say buy 10 bags of fertilizer, even my expected yield after the farming season is this and that. So this is why it's hard to steal from me right now, because if I say get a 10 kg, I'm going to send you 4 bags of fertilizer, I know that I'm expecting 50 plus bags from you.
Yeah, that's true.
Under no any circumstance, if as long as the conditions are okay, I'm expecting, because I have done that.
Yeah, you have
I've
faced that
experienced that.
experience
So
too.
that's
That's
what
true.
comes with what? Business. You need first to grow in the business, understand it, you try again. It's not that like many times that's failed, but few times that's worked out. Like the time that has failed, like farming has disappointed a lot, and the times when they have worked. But the times when farming has worked, it doesn't just. It's not like a small thing. It hits, peeps. It jumps like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You know, some
The
other.
profits are massive when it works for you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, some other thing that I've noticed is that most of youths of our generation, like they're just focused onto getting a job, getting a high-paying job, and their life will be relaxed just then and then. Like they just want to work for somebody, you know.
Yeah.
So others don't have that mindset of saying, okay, I'm going to work for someone for a certain period of time, and I'll give myself a period of time to develop a company. So, I've told to myself that I'll work for someone for a certain period of time, but after that period of time, I'll learn the skill. So, I believe that work is not just about getting paid,
Yeah,
work
yeah.
should also be about you learning a skill so that you can be your own employer. Because I, for one, don't feel comfortable just working my whole life going to report to someone. I want to be the employer. So I feel like most of our friends, our youths, this is what they like. All their focus is in getting their degree, going looking for a high paying job, and that's all. They don't think of creating that high paying job.
Exactly.
So I feel like this is something that our fellow youths we need to focus on more, because we can't be having people at the age of their 70s, 60s being the entrepreneurs, and where are us young people with so much energy who have potential to do better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why can't we venture into something? Let's invest into things, and with due time, things begin to grow.
Exactly. So on that one, I would say you're very right when you say we need to start when we are young, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we start when we are young, so like an average of an African person must start a business. Like okay, let's say 30, started when let's say an average person like thriving business. So Roger Sadwambo says, hey, okay, he says this through 2003.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I said my first grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said there was no Great Northwood Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had Great Northwood Academy, the school running. It ran for 10 years. But for us to see profits coming, we saw them after 15 years.
Wow.
That's when we said there's now Great North Road group of companies.
Near all this time, they had consistency, they had
Consistency,
investments,
growth,
they sacrifices.
failures, and stuffs. So, if as young youth, we should take work as
Mm-hmm.
a source of wealth creation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to have a reason why you should work. You need to give yourself a time frame, like, I'll just work for 5 years. And when this 5 years is done, in that 5 years, you need to start your business as you're working.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just plan to say, in these 5 years, I am going to quit my
Yeah,
work and
yeah.
focus in
So
business.
that's true. For me, I take work to be like a source of capital for me to create my
Exactly.
own wealth. So, like when I was back in Zambia, I worked for a certain company, Neham Caterings.
Yeah.
So they were doing caterings, they were doing baking and stuff. So coming from a background where my mom is also a chef, she does baking. So I was learning skill from there. So work was not just about me getting paid, reporting for work every morning,
Yeah.
and getting paid at the end of the month, but I was learning a skill. I worked for them for about a period of 8 months. After that 8 months, I quit working for them. And when I stopped working for them, I ventured into my own business. I started baking scones and samosas and selling in the streets. And I became my own employer. I was
Exactly.
making my own capital. So I feel like we should also get work as learning a skill. I know some people just going to work because of passion and stuff like that, but you can create that passion of yours and also employ other people.
Exactly. So this is what I tell most of people back in my country. Like
Mm-hmm.
the way I see my country, we can get Trump, give him Zambia. We can get any best president in the world, give them Zambia, but they'll still fail to develop my country. Why? It's not the government.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the companies.
Mm-hmm.
It's the culture. up
That's
there
true.
in the minds of citizens in my country. Like they need to start changing the mindset. So
That's
I'll give
true.
you an example. In Zambia, the the grocery business is being run by Rwandanese.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've seen Rwandanese coming without nothing. They have grown from a shop
Mm-hmm.
to a mean supermarket,
Mm-hmm.
a mean shopping mall. And then they've built houses. They've
That's true.
built fast houses. What are they adding? Value to the country, right?
That's true.
So if we all change the working culture, the mindset of saying it's not the government,
Mm-hmm.
but we can change the face of our country.
Yeah.
We can shape the faces of our families.
Even just like God, the Bible tells us to say that God helps those who help themselves.
Yes.
So even the government, they can't help people who are not trying to help themselves. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? When we look at the Bible, the story of the three talents, each one was given a talent and they had an opportunity to multiply those talents. So even us, I feel like it's something that we need to discover ourselves, discover your talent. If it's something, if it's a hobby, make it into a wealth creation thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just go into something. Like when I was doing my business for catering, I had people asking, "Oh, how much are you making? What are the profits and stuff like that? Are you making a lot of money?" So they just want to know the money I'm making so that they can do the same. But they're forgetting their rainy days, their sunny
Yes.
days, and
Exactly.
sometimes, yeah, it's dry. You know what I'm saying?
So to the people out there, I would
Mm-hmm.
refer every youth must read
Mm-hmm.
books.
Yeah.
So the best type of books I would refer, like somebody should, as a young person, you must have met the book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I
Mm-hmm.
met that book when I just finished my high school. Then that book built an inner beast that I never saw, that this is what this book, an impact that that book left in me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it talks about you having faith, connecting your thoughts with nature. Like when you pray the role of consistency and perseverance, nature itself begin to interpret your language. When you say, "This year I'm buying this,
That's true.
I'm buying a car,"
Mm-hmm.
you just begin to speak about that,
Mm-hmm.
work towards that.
Mm-hmm.
Even you just find opportunities begin to speak themselves up.
That's true.
Yeah, because nature attracts nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what is in the mind attracts
Yeah.
nature.
Yeah.
Then when you read the very good book that will
Even
help you,
even the body performs according to what your mind
yes,
says. If you say you can't do it, you won't
you will
do it.
do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you read the book called Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then when you read Think and Grow, then you read The Richest Man in Babylon. That book taught me how when I get $100,
Mm-hmm.
how I can make $150.
Mm-hmm.
Why I shouldn't use the $50, but I should make sure that the $50 has its own profits,
Yeah.
and that profit has its own profits,
Mm-hmm.
so that when I get $100, the $50, its profit, its the other profit will what will
Mm-hmm.
remain. You
Yeah.
get it?
Mm-hmm.
So it also talks about identifying what you do most.
Mm-hmm.
You go and get the best thing that you're good at and work on that thing.
Sure.
Put in consistency, put in hard work, dedication, everything at the end of the day will make sense, like in
That.
Zambia. But one day, what? Shikapanga sense.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah. That's
my
true.
beautiful people of Zambia say. Everything, when things are hard, one day
Mm-hmm.
Shikapanga what? Shikapanga
Kapanga
sense.
says,
It's
I
because
know
of
that.
what? That's the
Yeah.
rule of consistency that they're trying to
Mm-hmm.
interpret.
Well, Mr. Stanwell, it was a pleasure having you on this interesting talk show. So there you have it, people. Learn to discover yourself, learn new things. The earlier you start, the better. So we're hoping to have more young entrepreneurs because one day Kapanga says, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, my beautiful people. We had a great time with Mr. Malindima. He's one guy that inspires me. Like he wants to make change to the world
Oh,
by
yeah.
making efforts so that we can at least bring an impact to the world out there. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.